Today we're looking at the top 20 most ridiculously valuable toys out there right now. These are toys that routinely sell for some massive amounts of money. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to look at some of the most ridiculously expensive toys out there. And these are toys that routinely for years have sold for some phenomenal amounts of money. Now, believe it or not, some of the most expensive toys out there, the ones that are really ridiculously high, can be plushes. This is a rare Sonic, and this is from Adventure 2, and this is from 2001, made by Sega. This is an extremely rare one. You will find tons of video game-related plushes that sell for the most money. You can see the tag as well. It's from Sonic Team. Very rare. This, I believe, was a promotional toy as well. Now, another key name in plushes is Stife, and Stife made a ton of very valuable, very expensive plush toys. Many different animals across the board, not just teddy bears as most people would assume. The non-teddy bears, believe it or not, can sell for thousands on their own because they made far less of them. This is a miniature woolly felt-eared 1930s Stife donkey. It has the button in the ear and the whole works. Very nice example, and it sold for over $3,000. Now here's another Stife, and this is Loupe Lion, a very large plush. It's a caricature, basically. So it's not designed to look like a realistic animal, more like an anthropomorphic plush. Very scarce, very limited. They very rarely show up and sell for ridiculous amounts of money. Almost $5,000 for this 1950s plush. Now another key name in plushes is Rushton. And Rushton made a ton of anthropomorphic plushes with realistic human-like characteristics to them. And this is a fish. This is Goldie the fish. It's a very scarce plush. Rushton made a ton of different animals. Now, many by Rushton as well can sell into the hundreds, if not into the thousands also. Now, science fiction, fantasy-related toys are hot and always have been. This is a Machinder from Poppy, Dangar Ace. It's one of the jumbo size. These are extremely large. Very scarce to find today, very scarce to find in any decent condition. The labels can be damaged. This one actually is missing parts to it. This is dirty, dingy, missing pieces. It's damaged. It's got sticker issues, very obviously, and sold for almost $3,000. Most of these are fairly scarce. Some of them are extremely rare and only show up once every few years. Now, some lines of toys were only released in certain countries. Some lines of major toys had certain figures that were only released in certain ways, through a catalog or from another country. And this is a lot of dinosaurs. And these were made by Glasslight, a Brazilian company that released them in several South American countries. These are extremely scarce and very seldom show up. To have the whole set is almost impossible. Individual figures from this line can sell for several thousand as well. This set does have reproduction weapons as well. If you had the original weapons, it would have went for thousands more also. Now, usually some of the most valuable toys are those still in the box. Those untouched, unplayed with, for some of the scarcer toys. Now, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Technodrome. It's complete, unopened, sealed in the box, and it's sold for almost $5,000. This toy, complete in excellent condition on its own, can sell for $1,000 out of the box as well. Now, some of the large, full-size 12-inch G.I. Joes can sell for thousands as well. But in the 80s, they released the 3 3/4-inch. And this right here is the Defiant. This is sealed in the box. This is one of the most expensive G.I. Joe toys ever made for sale in a store. One of the largest ones as well. Having it in the box sealed like this can easily sell for $8,000 plus. Just the toy, complete without the box, can sell for thousands as well. And here's another G.I. Joe toy. This is the USS Flag, one of the largest, again, toys ever made. Between this one and the Defiance, they pretty much always rank in the largest of this era toys. They were the most expensive as well to buy back in the day. The jet you see on there itself is fairly large and fits the standardized 3 3/4-inch figures, so this thing is just massive, and it can hold several jets as well. A complete version of this minus the box can easily sell for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. With the box, it will sell in the same range, if not more, as the Defiance we just showed you. Now, Star Wars is one of those toy lines that's pretty much on every high-priced list on the globe. Their toys can routinely sell for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. This is an original Luke Skywalker with the telescoping lightsaber. The lightsaber itself telescopes out into several pieces. It is marked, it is graded, it comes with a certificate as well. This is from the original production of the first 12 action figures. This one easily can sell for 5, 6, 7,000 plus, as you see here. Now, you will run into some Star Wars figures that were made in other countries. Just like the Gaslight Dinosaucers we showed you earlier, this is by Lily Letty, which was a Mexican company who made the Star Wars line for the Mexican market. And this is Boba Fett with the removable rocket. Extremely scarce to find this at all. This one easily can sell for $5,000, even $10,000, depending on the condition. Here's another one from the Star Wars line. This is the blue snaggletooth that was only available through the Sears catalog from the Cantina set. And this one still is in the bag here. Now, what's wrong with this figure here is he's actually too big. They designed him based on a picture. He's the wrong color. He should be wearing red, and he should be an inch or so shorter than this one. So this was very limited in production. It was only available through that purchase in the catalog. This one easily can sell for thousands, as you see here. Here's yet another rare Star Wars. This is the vinyl-caped Jawa. Now, for many years, until one showed up carded, this was assumed to be a faked-out one. Someone created this piece, many people assumed. But they have shown up carded to back up the claim that this is truly an original vinyl-caped Jawa. Shortly after these were released, the majority of them showed up with cloth outfits. And this one sold for almost $5,500. There are tons of Legos that can carry a horrendous value as well, but this is one of the most expensive ones here. This was limited. This is the Cloud City set from 2003. Now, what's special about this one is a very specific version of Boba Fett can be found in here, and this is the only place you can find that version. The Boba Fett itself, just the Boba Fett figure, can sell for $5,000, $6,000, even up to $1,000 I've seen it selling. This is the set, it's boxed, it's sealed, and it has all of the figures in it. This one can easily sell for $5,000, close to $10,000 in primo, pristine, mint-sealed condition. Now, superhero toys in general routinely sell. Modern-day action figures from some of the Marvel Universe can sell for hundreds shortly after release. Now, some of the earlier toys were limited in production. Some were only released in specific countries, like this tin Japanese-made Robin from the Batman and Robin line here. This is from 1960. This is extremely scarce. Very few examples of this have shown up, especially in this condition, and especially with the cape still attached. And as you can see here, it sold for an extremely ridiculous amount of money. Now, Marx is another major company that made a ton of toys, many tin-related ones, like this tin fire station playset here. This one has the box. It is complete. It has the figures, the paper bags that the accessories came in, and the whole works. Marx is one of the biggest toy companies in the 50s and 60s. They made toys for pretty much anything you could imagine back in the days. They were just a massive company that made a ton of wide variety of toys. Many of them can sell for thousands, like this set here. Now, some of the most sought-after ones are sci-fi and robot-related here. Now, probably one of the most popular robots from the 50s, 60s, and even into the early 70s was Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet, a movie that Walt Disney had a hand in creating some of the special effects for. And this is the Space Patrol car. This is the first time we see Robbie showing up in the movie, as he drives to meet Leslie Nielsen, the lead captain of the ship that has landed on Forbidden Planet. Most Forbidden Planet toys can sell for thousands like this one here. And here's yet another version of Robbie the Robot, a complete standing version by Nomura from Japan. It's a wind-up mechanized toy also with the box. He can easily sell for thousands of dollars in this condition here, especially with the box. The box itself for most of these toys can add hundreds if not thousands of dollars to the value of them. Now, one of the biggest companies out there that made a massive amount of very expensive toys now was Bullmark. Bullmark made a ton of monster-related toys like this tin remote-controlled Godzilla toy here with the original box. The box is insanely scarce, as is the toy itself. It can easily sell for thousands of dollars, as this one did here. Now, another toy company that made tin toys was Marklin. Marklin made a ton of military-related ones, which are some of the rarest ones out there. This is the Paducah, and that's the name of the ship itself, and it's a battle cruiser battleship, I would say, at the time. This one dates to right at the beginning of World War I, 1915. It's in excellent condition for its age and construction. It does have some issues, and that is why they'll sell for thousands of dollars almost any time you find one. Now, most people are familiar with Mego toys, the 8 and 12-inch action figures with clothing and the whole works. They made them for tons of different lines. The world's greatest superhero line is one of the biggest ones. Many of those same toy lines were produced by other companies like Lincoln International here, and I believe that's from Europe, England in general. Many different companies made these, so you can run into all sorts of different variants. Some are extremely cheap. Some used leftover Mego clothing and parts to put together figures as well. That is why these can sell for thousands of dollars. If this was the Mego US version, they would only be worth a few $100 at best in complete mint condition. Now, here's another interesting box toy, and this is the Evel Knievel Road and Trail Adventure set. This does come with the standard Evel Knievel figure, but he does have different clothing and accessories that you can't get any other way. It comes with the motorcycle, a trailer, his truck, tent, and a few other accessories as well. Now, this was extremely scarce when first released. Many of these sorts of box sets, again, were only available through catalogs such as Sears or J.C. Penney's. They were made in advance based on pre-orders, so they were limited in production as well. Extremely scarce to find one in this nice of condition, still in the box, and that's why it can easily sell for thousands of dollars. Now, cars are a huge area of collectible toys, and some of the most valuable also. Now, tether cars have been around since the 30s and 40s and have been highly collected. Most tether cars take a real gas engine. Very expensive to make, very expensive to run and use, and that is why they don't show up very often. They were very expensive to buy when new. So they didn't make a ton of them, and when they show up in this type of condition, they can be worth an extreme amount of money. Ridiculous money. This one easily can sell for $3,000 or $4,000. This is a Trackmaster 2 tether car. Now, some of the earliest toys, well before pressed tin and steel, were cast iron toys. And this is a Borden's milk ice cream delivery truck. The car itself looks to be extremely nice. This one is made by Hubley, which was one of the biggest companies that made cast iron toys. They made motorcycles and military figures and a wide range of vehicles also. Cast iron toys of various different types can sell for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars when they're in fine original condition. Now, cars, just like most of the other toys, were also made out of tin. And this is a tin friction car. This one luckily has the box, and it's Atom Car is the title. And this was made in Japan by the Yonezawa Company. An extremely scarce car. This one easily sold for well over $5,000. Now, another major company was Buddy L, and Buddy L made a ton of different cars, even figures and dolls. They were so popular that many companies mimicked their size and production style, just like this sturdy toy U.S. mail truck here. Same basic timeline as Buddy L, but extremely scarce brand. This one easily can sell for thousands of dollars. Now, another area still tied to cars are pedal cars. And this is a Marx Big Job tow truck pedal car. Extremely scarce to find still in the box. It even has the mailer box that would have surrounded the artwork here so it wasn't damaged during shipment. Extremely scarce to find one of these in the box. They will always sell for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. What's special about this one is that it's sealed. It has never been opened and it is still complete, untouched in the box. And that's why this one easily sold for well over $2,000. Now, most people who were small kids in the 70s and 80s will remember the big wheel. And right along those lines is this Mask Thunderhawk power cycle here. This was made in 1986, so age isn't always a factor in some of these sorts of toys. This was extremely hard to find in 1986, so finding one today that's still in good condition and that works is extremely scarce. And that's why this one here sold for $1,725. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
This is the rugged G.I. Joe adventure team. Today's mission, rescue stolen idol. Your own G.I. Joe will need the adventure team helicopter. Joe gets it together and takes off. There it is, but it's guarded by a giant cobra. Can Joe get the idol? You find out. Search for the stolen idol, a G.I. Joe adventure. G.I. Joe sold separately.